Okay, Happy New Year. We are back on our journey to a better you. I hope everyone had a good New Year. I am doing a video on, I've had quite a few questions concerning plant-based diets and people who are considering changing their diet, or I will say actually changing their lifestyle, because it has to be absolutely a lifestyle change, because it is a lifestyle and it's a way of living, and it can be a little challenging, I found, if you're not prepared. Most people that I have seen try to change their diet, especially changing to a plant-based diet, specifically being vegan, they have had some challenges, and I found the reason why those that fail is because they are not prepared. They don't know what to buy when they go to the store. They don't know what to eat, and it sounds good in the beginning, and they think they can just go out and buy something or order something. You have to have a plan, because if you're hungry, you're going to begin to eat whatever you see, and you're also going to get very frustrated. So, and then you're going to quit. And so, if you're going to do it, I want you to be successful. But I just want to preface this by saying you don't have to necessarily be vegan. So many people tell me they want to be vegan, and they think they're going to look like somebody that's vegan, or they're going to just like this magic thing is going to happen, and they're going to just be fit. You can be a vegan and still be overweight, because the real issue, what it comes down to, is discipline. It really doesn't have that. It has something to do with your diet, but it really comes down to discipline, because there are people who are not vegan who are in shape and they still eat well. So I just find that plant-based diet just works better for me. It works better for my digestive system. I like my skin. I like my hair. I like, and like, you may be able to get these same benefits from just having a standard meat diet, but for me, this just works. So one of the first things that I always say when I talk about changing your diet or changing your lifestyle is the first thing I tell people to do, or I ask, is when is the last time you had a physical? Before you go making changes and starting a diet and different things, changing your lifestyle, you need to go to the doctors if you have not been. You should be getting a physical, if not every year, at least every other year. So I always encourage people to go to the doctor, get a physical with blood work. It is very important to know what your numbers are, and it helps you to know whether you have any deficiencies. All this information that I talk about is in like my first videos, I think, like getting started and so forth. You go back and you watch those. It talks more in depth about why you need to do these things, but it's very important. So your biometric screening, my employer actually offers it, and a lot of employers, and especially large companies, have a wellness program. So I would say start with your company and see if they have a wellness program, because I do know many companies like my firm actually have someone come out. I forget the people that do the blood screen, Quest. They actually come out to our office and they give the biometric testing, and it's free to all employees. So and you can get it done on site. But if that is not the case, you can go to, when you go to your doctor and you get your physical, you can let them know you want to have a biometric screening done. It's common. It should be covered under your routine, I'm going to say routine maintenance, but your routine care, preventative care. So tell them that that's what you want, and that they should know, what your doctor should know what that means. If they don't know what that means, then you might need a new doctor. So for your biometric screening, I'm going to read. Biometric screening is a short health examination that can help determine the risk level of a person for certain diseases and medical conditions, and help establish a health baseline. So it usually measures your cholesterol, your HDL, your LDL, your triglycerides, your glucose. You also, a part of the biometric screening is checking your BMI, which requires getting your height, getting your weight, and sometimes they even will check your waist circumference. Belly fat is very dangerous. I have another video called Waist Wars that you should watch if you have a problem with belly fat. It talks about how dangerous it is. There are toxins and things that are released in your body. Visceral fat is the culprit. And these things can bring on diabetes and high blood pressure, heart disease. There are in that video, it talks about it in depth. So I will go back and view those if you have not. I'll probably start reposting some of those, because the information is always good. So that's what you want to do first. You want to get a physical. You want to get your blood work done, your biometric screening done. And that will help you also to know if you, also the reason why I say that is if you have any deficiencies. Because if you're going to change your diet, and you don't know if you have certain deficiencies. You go removing things from your diet or adding certain things to your diet, and then you have problems and you blame it on the diet. It's not really the diet or being vegan or whatever. It's because you had deficiencies that you weren't aware of, and then they became manifest just because you took certain things away. So I would encourage you, if you have not had a physical, to get your physical done. If you work a full-time job and you have medical benefits, you should be taking advantage of those benefits. You should be getting your health screenings done. Preventative care is just that, preventative care. You don't want to end up with some sort of illness that was preventable. And some things are preventable. So I would just encourage you to take advantage of those things. You never know what's going to happen. There are people with health care that without health care, even though every one I believe is required. I don't know what's going on with health care now, but they wish they had health care, or they wish they had adequate health care, and they don't have it, and so they can't get these things done. So if you have it, take advantage of it. So that's one of the main things I want to say. Oh, and the third thing was, if you're going to change your diet, and especially if you're trying to lose weight, the other thing I encourage you to do is do a cleanse. Because a lot of times, a lot of the waste, especially the waste in your body and all of the problems around your waist in your midsection is waste. It's you do a cleanse and it cleans you out, and then you know what you're working with. You can take 5 to 6 pounds off just from waste. And I had people who actually took the cleanse that I suggested last year, and they were like, they dropped 5 pounds, they dropped 8 pounds. I literally had like 8 people on my job taking the cleanse at one time in my office at a law firm. Like, the bathrooms were insane. But yeah, my office is weird like that. But it was very, very beneficial, and I recommend people who have a problem going to the bathroom and with their digestive system to try to do a cleanse at least twice a year. And depending on how severe it is, maybe 3 or 4. You can do it like every 3 months. But the caveat is, you have to drink water. If you're not drinking water, that is probably why you have a problem even moving bowels. You're moving your bowels and getting your system cleaned out. You have to drink water. And I tell people, if you don't like water, try water with lemon. I'm not going to get into that. I have a whole video on the importance of drinking water. Go check it out. And I also have a video that talks about the cleanse. I don't remember exactly what I named. I think it's called Let's Talk About Poop. And it's like a picture of like poop on it, so you can't miss it. So go back and check those out, and I may repost those. So I want to try to do this in one video. I may have to do it in 2. But I wanted to just get into some people that say they don't know what to eat. They don't know what's good for them. They don't know where to start. So I'm going to try to just offer some information on products that I use or staples that I think you may need to get started. So when you clean out your cabinet, you really want to get rid of anything processed. You want to get rid of like white rice, unless it's like white basmati rice. You don't want processed rice. You don't want processed and refined sugars and things like that. Those things you want to get rid of. So I will also preface this by saying that changing your diet, it can be a little pricey, especially in the beginning when you're buying all of your staples. But the reality is, it's an investment. It's an investment for your health, and we spend money on everything else, so we could just make the sacrifice, cut something else out, because this is going to help you live. And I'll also say, whatever you do now is going to impact the condition that you're in later. So if you're in your 30s, you're in your 40s, if you're in your 20s, and you think you have so much time to get your life together, before you know it, you're not going to be that age anymore. And when we start having problems, and then we want to try to correct things when we can just avoid it. We can't avoid everything, anything that we can't predict what may happen. But some things definitely are preventable. So I want to encourage you to start now. So I had questions about like, okay, what do I buy when I go to the market? So some staples I think you may need to have in your refrigerator. So you want to try to get into the habit of eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner. If you don't do that, there's so many people that don't do that. I don't have time to have like breakfast, but I do have a smoothie every morning. So I think that if you're not a breakfast person and you're on the go, I like to eat something in the morning. I have probably my heaviest meal is going to be lunchtime, and I try to eat a little bit lighter at dinner because I don't want to eat a whole lot before I go to bed. So for a vegan, some of the staples you're going to have, you're going to have to change things like your butter. So there are non-dairy butters. There's Earth Balance. There's I Can't Believe It's Not Butter. They're either some are soy-based. Some are made with olive oil. The Earth Balance probably has about 3 or 4 different kinds. Those things, and I think I probably left that in the refrigerator. I meant to bring that to show you what it looks like. So that's a good thing that you're going to need, that's a buy that you're going to need. Beans, that's going to be like the center of your world. And beans are really good for you. And people always talk about the iron and beans. But beans, you're not going to get the proper balance of iron just from beans. You have to have the beans with rice, and specifically brown rice, to get the full component of the proteins. A lot of people don't know that. They just think they just eat the beans and I'm going to get, no, you have to have that. And you have to eat them balanced for them to get, they have to be absorbed into your body system. So a lot of times they say you need some sort of vitamin C or something like that. So these are all things. I don't want to overwhelm you. Just want to get you started, but we'll get into the more specifics. But beans, you want your beans and you want your rice. You got your black beans, kidney beans, your garbanzo beans. You have so many different types of beans that you can use. And these are things you just want to have ready. You can get dry beans, and I would get some canned beans for those times when you just need to cook something quick. So your rice, you got brown rice, you have jasmine rice, you have all different types of rice that are really good for you. Brown rice, of course, is really good for you. It's good for your digestion. The only thing is, for people that have never eaten brown rice, it is a different consistency. So some things you're going to have to acquire a taste for. If it's difficult for you, you can start with like a jasmine rice and so forth. There's so many different varieties. Whole Foods, Giant. Whole Foods can be really expensive. It's also known as Whole Paycheck. So you can try like Giant. So many of the other supermarkets now, depending on where you live, everybody's somewhere else, they normally have an organic section that offers you these natural things. So another thing would be a vitamin. I would really suggest a multivitamin, because you want to make sure that you're getting all ideally we want to get everything from our diet. Unfortunately, even we don't consistently eat right all day every day, so I always recommend having a multivitamin, especially for vegans, because we have to make sure we're getting, like our iron and so forth. And I'm going to get into iron in another video based on the experience that I have, or I'm having right now. So you want to have a multivitamin. I use Deva. I hope I'm saying it right. They have a really good multivitamin with iron that does not constipate you. And I also take calcium, magnesium. You need the calcium with the magnesium for it to be absorbed properly into your body. And that's also Deva. They have a ton of other different types of vitamins under that brand. That's one of the best, to me, one of the best vegan supplements. You want to have unrefined sugar. Now, that's like a brown sugar. If you see it, it's like a turbino, I never say it right, sugar. If you're going to be using it, unless you're going to use that type of sugar regularly, then you may not. But if you're a coffee drinker, you'll do a coffee another time, or if you bake, you want to have that sugar. Milk. Determine the type of milk you want to have. You have almond milk, you have rice milk, you have soy milk. I would try to steer away from too much soy milk, especially if you're going to be having some soy-based products. Soy, especially for men should really try to avoid soy for some hormonal issues. You don't want them to be like having other problems. They can have some adverse effects with men if it's if they're consuming a lot of it. They shouldn't eat it every day, but they can have it. I'm not trying to scare men into saying they'll never eat soy, but you don't want to eat it in large quantities. For men, you can read about why. I'm not going to get into it right now. So you also want to have the other problem, or other major thing, are meat substitutes. Once you get past your milk, I do almond milk, and sometimes I do rice milk. Those are some of my favorite. They have like a cashew milk now too. They have so many different varieties. They're all fortified. I use them for baking. I was probably drinking soy milk and alternative types of milk even before I became vegan, just because dairy just didn't work well for me. And I probably didn't even define necessarily what a vegan is. So vegans necessarily don't eat anything that has a mother. So everything is plant-based. That's the easiest way to sum it up. So some of the meat substitutes, someone asked me about soy-free meat substitutes. So some of those options would be Seiten, that's Seiten, and that is made out of wheat gluten. You can read about what that is. There are other, Field Roast is really good. It's a very good brand, and it is grain-based. Really good, very flavorful, but it could be pretty expensive. You can get it at Wegmans. I've seen it at Wegmans. I've seen it at Whole Foods. I think Giant carries it sometimes. Those are the only markets in my area that I know of. But you can Google it, and you can go to their website, and they can tell you where you can buy their products. They have really good meat substitute. Amy's of California has really good veggie burgers. You can also heard the Beyond Burger was really good. Some of your gluten-free options would be Gardein. I use their meatballs. Now, these are their meatless meatballs, and they are absolutely delicious. And there is also, Whole Foods has a portobello mushroom meatball meat substitute. It's just hard to get a hold of. It's really good, but I will use the Gardein. I'm kind of stuck on that right now, and it's pretty quick, and they're already like pre-made, so you bake them and just make your sauce and throw it in the oven, and it's a good meal. And you can use that with your pasta. You can get like a spinach based pasta. You just want pasta that does not have egg. Rice based. But you can also, if you really want to try to just do something different and be healthy, you can use a spiralizer. This is my spiralizer. This is the real simple one. And you can use this, and you can use squash. I like the green squash. It seems to be a little firmer. And you spiralize it, and then you could put your spaghetti or whatever, the sauce that you make with your meatballs over that, and it's really good for your digestion. Then you get in your greens, and then on top of that, you're getting your meatballs, and the meatballs are very filling. And it digests better because it's not meat. Meat is not awful for you. The problem with meat is that people don't eat it with the right foods to help it break down into their system, or they eat too much. I talk about that in another video about the meat. So I'm not trying to get everyone off meat. If we just ate things the proper way and ate the right amount, portion control is just another issue. So there's also so there's Gardein, there's Beyond Meat. I think they have a really good burger. That's a pretty new product. They also tempeh, which is also, I have some of that. This is tempeh. It usually comes in a pack. This is smoked. And if I want to make something like a BLT, I'll use this. And it's a soy-based product. I'll use that with my toast. A good bread to use is Ezekiel bread. It is a sprouted bread. It has no preservatives. It's really good for you. It breaks down very easy in your system. And they have a delicious English muffin. They make hot dog rolls. They make English muffins. They make their bread. And I think they make bagels. It is because it has no preservatives. The thing is, the key that I've learned is when you look at things and you want to know how healthy it is, it has a small list of ingredients. The more ingredients, that means the more things have been added to it, and you probably want to stay away from it. Because it has no preservatives, Ezekiel bread does spoil quickly. In a day or two, it's going to start to mold. So I keep mine in the freezer. I toast my bread anyway, so it really doesn't matter. So those are some things that you want to have. Beyond. They also have Beyond Meat, and other meat substitute has what they also call crumbles, which is almost like a ground meat substitute if you want to make spaghetti with a ground meat. They have different types of sausage and things like that are made from like the grain. They're like the grain burgers, or they're made from soy-based or soy protein and so forth. So those are there are so many options today that you can have. And even for Chinese food, if you want to eat out, you can usually get a spring roll. Ask the difference between the spring roll. The spring roll has no egg in it, and it usually does not have meat. Just verify that. Then there are restaurants now that even offer vegan options. Most of them, I find, offer some sort of vegan option. It's so much easier, to eat out now than it was then. I will also always recommend always having nuts on hand. Cashews, almonds, or you can get like a trail mix that encompasses all of them with raisins and so forth. If you're at work all day, that's good to keep in your drawer. It'll just knock the hunger off if you're hungry. I probably eat like 5 meals a day. I have a smoothie in the morning. I usually have then like a yogurt or something and something else with it, probably like my nuts or something like that, around 9 o'clock or so. I usually have my smoothie about 6. Around 9 or 10, I'm getting hungry again. If you're working out, the more you work out, the hungrier you're going to be. You just want to eat the right things. It's not bad to eat. You just want to eat the right things. So I have that. Then I'll usually have my lunch. And then I'll usually have something around 3, another type of snack or something like, and then I have my dinner. And that keeps me from getting hungry. The worst thing you want to do is get hungry. Because when you get hungry, you want to eat whatever you can find. That's when I'm looking for chips and things like that. So, and those things a lot of those things are still, you can still have. You just have to learn. One thing you're going to have to learn to do and be patient with is learn to read ingredients. You're going to have to read ingredients on the pack and know what you're looking for. You don't want meat-based things. You don't want things with dairy. Whey is a form of dairy. So when you see that, you want to make sure that that's not vegan. That all depends on how strict you are. Now, if you want to not be vegan, then just try to have a plant-based diet, but still do dairy or do fish, it'd be a pescatarian. You could do that. I mean, it just depends. But right now we're talking about people who are considering becoming vegan. So what was another thing? Oh, I was talking about fast food. So Chipotle, you can go there. They have something called oh God, I forgot the name of it. But they have a really, really good meat substitute, and you can get that with your beans and the whole thing. Really good. Dunkin' Donuts, they offer almond milk. Their culotta is vegan. You can get hash browns, English muffin, egg rolls, pretzel twists. They're all vegan. Wendy's fries are vegan, and I also believe Chick-fil-A's fries are vegan. McDonald's are not. McDonald's actually coats their fries in some sort of meat flavoring, so they are not. And I don't think Burger King. So Papa John's, Little John's Pizza, Pizza Hut, their thin and crispy hand tossed and salted pizza crust and dough are vegan. Those are the ones at Pizza Hut. Little Caesars offers their sauce and dough is also. So these are things that you can look at. You can always still have grits. You can still have home fries. You can still have pancakes. Bisquick, their pancake mix is actually vegan, and you can also get vegan pancake mix. You want to get a good maple syrup. It can be expensive. Just don't use as much. You don't need that much anyway. You can use your vegan butter. Jell-O vanilla pudding is vegan. Oreos are vegan. They have no dairy in them, and they have no lard in them. People are surprised to know that. And there are a ton of like vegan bakeries and eateries now. So like I said before, it is so much easier now to do it. It really is not that difficult. It's just a matter of making up your mind. I will also say if you like yogurt, having yogurt is good. Right now I'm kind of on this Greek yogurt thing. I just kind of started it. First I didn't like it, and then I kept eating it. And this Daya has a really good yogurt, and it's very filling. It's heavy, and the reason it has to me, the sugar's kind of high. But if you're not eating a lot of sugar, that's the other thing, then it's not that bad. If you're working out, you're burning it off, and just be mindful of what else you're eating. Other staples and things, I think, like as far as supplements, something you want to invest in, apple cider vinegar. Especially if you're trying to lose weight. Bragg's apple cider vinegar is good for digestion. It's good for toxins. It's good for fat burning. I know people that you can take like 2 tablespoons in the morning, 2 tablespoons in the evening. I know people that drink it in their water throughout the day. If you're going to drink it throughout the day, you have to be careful with your teeth because it is acid, so it can begin to erode your teeth. I just take it like a shot in the morning, and I take it like a shot at night. There's also a really good book. It does so much. There's a book for it, so I really can't even get into all that it does, but I would invest in the book. And you could probably go to their website. It's good for germs and bacteria, regulates your calcium metabolism. It keeps the blood at the right consistency. It regulates the women's menstrual cycle. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. You can use it for your skin. It's good for acne, women. It's good for problems with candida. So there are a lot of things. The smoothies that I wanted to recommend for people to try in the morning, you want to consider smoothies. Your smoothies, I usually get like a vegan protein. I love Garden of Life. I only buy it when it's on sale because it's super expensive. I also like Spiritine. This is really good, and it tastes good. I usually get vanilla because I always add stuff to it. So you get like frozen blueberries, bananas. I freeze them, all my fruit. Like I cut my bananas up and freeze them. It's a great breakfast. You throw in like some chia, or you can throw in ground chia or ground flax, and that is good because that gives you the fiber that you need. Fiber is very important for you. Also, having fresh fruit, apples. If you have problems with energy, you get tired at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, you have an apple, you will be amazed. It will give you a burst of energy naturally. You don't need a cup of coffee. I'm really working with people with this coffee to stop drinking so much coffee. I'm not saying it's absolutely going to kill you or anything like that, but the caffeine, it is a drug and it is addictive. And when you can't let go of something, that means you're addicted to it. So you got to be careful. I don't like addiction. I don't like feeling like I have to have something. And I see these people with coffee and they just can't let it go. Cheese. If you're a cheese person, they have really good almond-based, soy-based cheeses. Daya is probably my favorite. It melts the best. You can make like grilled cheese. You can put it on your veggie burgers and things like that. Also the Ezekiel bread also has veggie buns, which are really good toasted when you make your veggie burger. Hummus is good to have. I use that as a spread in the place of mayonnaise. Sometimes there is like a veganese that you can get in the place of like mayonnaise as a substitute. But I found hummus, and it has so many beneficial nutritional, so much nutritional value to it. It's really good, and it doesn't have as many calories as using like mayonnaise and so forth. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Also, there's a cream cheese. If you're a bagel person, if you get like the Ezekiel bagel or the Ezekiel English muffin, they have a spread. This is soy based, it's tofu, but it is a cream cheese, and I love it because it reminds me of Philadelphia cream cheese. And I also use it when I make my cheesecakes, because I love making cheesecakes. So this is a really good cream cheese to use for that. So I think I covered a lot. I hope that gives you what you need for now. I may do another video because I think this one is pretty long. I was trying not to reach 25 minutes. Good Lord. I'm going to also try to send. There's a video by Dr. Oz where he talks about being vegan and the benefits of it. And then he also gives you modifications. So if I can provide the link with this, because there also will be a narrative where I'll list all of this stuff. If you can read it, you can read it. If you don't want to have time to listen to the video. But I'll also try to see if I can throw the link in from Dr. Oz. If not, it is already on the Journey to a Better You page. You can subscribe to the YouTube channel, which is under Journey to a Better You, or you can like the page, or you can do both. If you subscribe to the Journey to a Better You, I think you get an alert every time a new video comes up. So, your liquid aminos. This is also by Bragg's. It's by the same people who make the apple cider vinegar. This is great for cooking with, making stir fries, even people who are using meats. It has all of your amino acids in it, which is good for your protein building blocks and so on and so forth. So it actually is like a natural soy sauce, but it has all the nutrition and all of your it's a soy protein based, but it's a natural soy sauce alternative. So I would definitely look into this. I make my salad dressing with this. I started making my own salad dressing. I know that sounds like it's hard. It is so easy. I use this with some olive oil, and I might throw in a little bit of apple cider vinegar. And I just take them and I bought these little bottles from Home Goods, and I just throw them in the refrigerator, and I take them for my lunch at work. I usually just pack a salad with some falafel. Falafel is also good. And I cut that up and put it in my salad. It's very filling. So I know I'm talking fast. I know I said a lot. I'm just looking around to see if there's anything else that I forgot. But I hope this is helpful with getting started. I may try to post some recipes. I like to make home fries, and I can make home fries without frying them in grease. Then you don't have to throw them. You know how your mother used to make home fries, and then she throw them in a paper towel to soak up all the artery clogging grease. And I make it with just liquid aminos and water. And I use all my regular seasonings. If you use onion, if you use green pepper, saute that in some olive oil, and then throw in your water, throw your potatoes on top, you season them, throw in your liquid aminos. It's absolutely delicious, and it's not super heavy, and it's not going to kill you. So, but I may try to start making some recipes up to put them out for people, but that's going to take a little time. So I hope this was helpful. Let me know if you have any questions, and I will try to see you next week. I may continue this, or I may start on another topic, but all right, you're on your journey to a better you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.